Kristen Bell just did what millions of moms do every summer. And suddenly the internet is calling it too bold. Let's talk about why. Today, we're addressing a headline that feels particularly disconnected from reality. Kristen Bell bikini photos spark outrage to bold even for adults. When applied to an actress known for her girl next door charm, her self-deprecating humor, and her relatable parenting stories. This narrative doesn't just feel manufactured, it feels absurd. This isn't a story about scandal. It's a case study in how the media struggles to process a woman who is both confidently authentic and completely normal. And what happens when that normalcy doesn't fit the expected mold of a Hollywood star. Let's unpack why this outrage is perhaps the most transparently fake we've seen, and what Kristen Bell's photos truly represent. First, it's essential to understand the public persona Kristen Bell has carefully cultivated over the years. She is not an aloof, untouchable celebrity. She is famously normal. Through social media and interviews, she has built a brand on authenticity, openly discussing mental health, the messy realities of marriage and parenting with Dax Shepard, and her own insecurities. She's the actress who will post a video of herself crying over sloths and openly talk about going to therapy. This is the context for these beach photos. They show a happy, healthy woman on a family vacation. She is not posing for a glamorous magazine spread. She is simply existing in a swimsuit, much like millions of other women do on summer holidays. The attempt to frame this as a bold or outrageous act is to completely ignore the foundation of relatability she has built her entire career upon. Now, let's trace the source of this so-called outrage. If you venture into the comments on her social media or under news articles sharing these photos, you will find a resounding echo of support and identification. Fans are writing, "She looks so happy, and this is so refreshingly normal." The negative comments are a tiny, vocal minority, often amplified by the very algorithms that power the gossip industry. The outrage is not a public consensus. It is a product. It is a handful of critical comments packaged as a cultural firestorm to generate clicks and engagement. By attaching a scandalous headline to one of Hollywood's most relatable figures, these outlets create a conflict that simply does not exist in the minds of her actual audience. Furthermore, this situation highlights a bizarre and frustrating double standard that even the most normal celebrities cannot escape. When a male actor and father someone, like, for instance, Dax Shepard is photographed shirtless on a beach, it is barely noted, or perhaps framed as evidence of his fitness. There is no public debate about the appropriateness of his display. Yet, when his wife, Kristen Bell, is seen in a standard bikini, it becomes a topic for public discourse and moral judgment. This double standard reveals that the issue isn't with the clothing itself, but with the persistent cultural inclination to scrutinize and police women's bodies. Regardless of how relatable or normal they may be, her body, even in its most ordinary context, is still seen as a subject for public debate. What's truly compelling about Kristen Bell's story is that her confidence appears so accessible. She isn't presenting a physique of unattainable perfection. She looks strong, healthy, and real. This relatability is her power. In a landscape saturated with filtered and curated images, her photos feel like a breath of fresh air. They are a visual extension of her philosophy that it's okay to be a human, with flaws and all, and to still feel confident and joyful in your own skin. She represents an achievable ideal of wellness, one that prioritizes mental health and happiness alongside physical health. The photos aren't about showcasing a bikini body. They're a snapshot of a well-balanced life. In the end, the narrative of outrage is a cheap distraction from what these photos actually show. A woman thriving in her personal and professional life, Kristen Bell represents a different kind of power in Hollywood, the power of authenticity. She has built a successful career not by being provocative or perfect, but by being genuinely herself. The manufactured outrage will fade, but the message of self-acceptance and relatable confidence she embodies will continue to resonate. She proves that the most radical thing a celebrity can do is to remain normal. And that true confidence isn't about being bold, it's about being comfortable. And sometimes, that looks like a smiling mom in a bikini on a beach with her family. What do you think? Is the outrage over Kristen's photos completely fabricated? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more thoughtful discussions.